Okamoto covers the UFC for us here at ESPN, and he joined us on SportsCenter. I'm sure since Dana White's comments last night on SportsCenter, Brett, you've talked to quite a few people around the sport, including the fighters. What's been the reaction of the people you've spoken to the fact that they are going to continue with these bouts?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a few things, Michael. One is that they're just like everyone else and that they're trying to understand this on the fly. But two, and you heard Dana White say it at the end, and he's not lying to you, that all of these guys really do want to compete. They do want to still get in the octagon and fight. It's not just how they make their livelihood. It is, I mean, they're doing so because they need the money. This is how they get their paychecks, but it's also, this is what they like to do. If they're not doing this, they're not doing anything else. You know, I had a fighter, Matt Brown, who was scheduled to fight in Columbus in his hometown later this month. He said that that was really kind of the only reason he accepted the fight. He wanted to fight in front of his hometown fans. Now that fight has been moved to Las Vegas in a small arena where he's going to fight in front of nobody. And he said, yeah, I mean, that's a major change. But if this wasn't going on, this is what I'd be doing. Like if I got quarantined, I'd be working out in my garage. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm going to be doing on a daily basis. But it is a little bit of chaos. It's a little bit of uncertainty, especially for these next two events. You know, you mentioned the event on Saturday in Brazil. And then next week, there's a fight in London. I was speaking to a female fighter, Ashley Evans Smith, today. She was actually at the airport. This was earlier this afternoon. As many of us know, Donald Trump was scheduled to, you know, go in front of the country and talk about the virus and some of the measures that they're taking. And she was sitting there thinking to herself, am I going to get on this plane and be flying to London, and in the middle of the flight, they're going to say that they're going to cancel trips, you know, coming back from Europe, or that I'm going to have to be quarantined when I come back? Like, I am literally flying to another part of the world to get in a fist fight. I don't know if there's fans they're going to be in the arena. I don't know if the fight is still going to go on. And I don't know if they're going to allow me to get back into the country when this is all said and done. Those are the types of uncertainties that these guys are facing. But hey, I mean, she was willing to do it. She texted me a few hours later and said, hey, I'm on the flight to London. There's no turning back now. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, and this is an international sport, and athletes compete in different countries, and that's actually one of the reasons that the PGA Tour decided to shut down operations, because they were concerned about players from international locations being able to go back to the family or get out of the country either way. But let me ask you this, because, and I asked Dana this last night, because there's no other sport in the world that has as much body-to-body contact than UFC and mixed martial arts in general. How confident are the fighters that every precaution is being taken for their safety moving forward?
Man, I'm going to tell you something, Michael, that might blow your mind, and it might blow the mind of a lot of people watching this who don't follow the sport of mixed martial arts very closely. They don't think about it. They really don't. I mean, when you start talking to these guys about head trauma, and you talk to them about other things that directly impact their health, a lot of times, man, and there are exceptions to this, but a lot of times these guys get tunnel vision. It's just, these guys are gamblers. They're high-risk people. You know, not gamblers from a sense of, you know, they're at the craps tables. They're just gamblers. They're high-risk takers. This is how they choose to live their life. I think that that's part of what allows them to get into the octagon and fight another human being, you know, and get excited about something like that. So, you know, some of them are taking it slightly into consideration, but for the most part, they go through a camp, they get laser vision, they get tunnel vision, and they say, I just want to fight. I am a caged animal right now. I have prepped my body. I have put it through hell. I am ready to go in there and compete, and they don't want that opportunity to compete taken away from them. So I think it's kind of slightly on their minds that, hey, this stuff is going on, and I hope I don't get it. But all these guys have a lot of confidence in their immunity systems. They have a lot of confidence in their health. They're saying, hey, we're younger, healthy, professional athletes. We're not going to catch this. And if you think that that's a flawed way of thinking, you're allowed to think that way. But that is how a lot of these mixed martial artists think. They have one thought in mind, and that is to go wherever the fight is taking place and to win it on Saturday.
Look, if you're going to be in combat sports, you're going to have to feel invincible in some regards, and it's more than just what you actually do in the octagon or in the ring. Brett Okamoto here with us on SportsCenter. Thanks, Brett.